Against the Cavs. Knicks go into Philly against an undermanned Sixer team. No Embiid. No Tobias Harris. No Thibault. So you figure no problem. But these are the New York Knicks after all. So of course it wouldn't be easy. Knicks take a 14-point lead going into the second half. Sixers are able to cut it to as low as 1 point between the third and fourth quarter. Going back and forth, giving the Knicks everything they could. But in the end, it was Julius coming up clutch. 4 minutes left in the fourth. Julius Randle gets 10 points of his 31, leading the Knicks to a 103-96 victory over the Sixers. And hey, listen, man, it wasn't easy, but we'll take it. A win is a win. Knicks post-game live presented by Manscaped, CP the Franchise, Ashley Moore, CK2K, JD Sports Talk. Oh, man, it can never be easy, JD. It can never be easy. But look, at the end of the day, our guy took us home, man. You know, after a lousy third quarter, again, third quarter doom, Knicks get outscored, I believe it was like 25-14. Offense sputtered. Defense out of sync. You know, we had a big fourth quarter. A lot of guys had to step up to the plate, but I think in the end, it was Julius that really saved us from the brink of collapse. So give credit to him, 31 points on the night, but those 10 points late in the fourth was really what sealed it.
Right, and we have to start there with Julius Randle having 20 points in the second half with 7 rebounds, you know, shooting 50% from three. And, you know, tonight is a night that we understand the roster that the opponent has, but this is a night that your best player decides to say, you know, we're not going to lose this game. And that's basically what happened in the second half with his performance. You know, the start was a little shaky. I thought an early turning point to the game was, you know, off the timeout. There was a timeout. They came back. They played defense. They closed the first quarter very strong. That led to them having a lead. And then, you know, this was just a strange game. I'm actually interested to hear, you know, Ash and CK's thoughts, your thoughts as well, CP, because it seemed like very up and down.
Yeah.
But in the end, we got the win. We're 5-1 on the road, right? And
go figure.
We're 5-1 on the road, right? So of course we got the win, and we're out of there. We're out of there. Hey. We'll see Philly later this season.
We out of there.
It is what it is. They don't have this guy. It doesn't matter. I've always said road wins are quality wins in the end. And there's a natural thing that it's hard to explain. And those fans that were not impressed tonight, I know it's hard to sell you on it. But the fact of the matter is, when, you know, you're professional players and you're playing a team that doesn't have anybody, it's hard to, you know, be, you know, 100% precise and play the way that we all want them to play. They had a 19-point lead. We would have loved to keep it that way. It didn't happen, but in the end, we won. And let's move on to the next
Take it, man. I just want to get out of there with a dub. And you just wanted to get out of there with some burgers on the grill, man. So we got one more burger on the grill. 43 more to go. We cooking, man. Because like we were laughing on the pregame when somebody had tweeted at you today. He said, JD, if we lose this game tonight with no Embiid, no Tobias, no Thibault, you got to put the grill in storage, fam. It's over. It's over.
And for a moment there, I was thinking about the tweet. I was like, oh, man. Here we go,
bad, bro.
The Knicks are being the Knicks.
Facts.
So, you know, so it's much better to talk about areas of improvement when you're winning ball games.
Ash, what'd you think about the game tonight?
Yeah, baby, I'm not going last tonight. Sorry, CK. Listen, this was, you know, 7 lead changes in this game. 3 times the game was tied. This was all grit. And I know people are going to try to discredit this win, saying, you know, well, you know, Embiid's out. This person was out. But look, we've seen the Knicks fall short against teams that they should win. At the end of the day, you know, when you're on the road, it's already hard enough to win, but it should even be easier to win, or you should take advantage of winning when you're playing against a team that is at a deficit. You know, this is when you strike them, you know, when things are working in your favor. So I don't want to hear all that, you know, they had this or they were missing that, because a win is a win. And, you know, we've seen the Knicks lose games that they should win. Yep. The third quarter was sloppy. The third quarter was not a good quarter, but I think, you know, the fourth quarter, what I got to give Tibbs credit for is I don't know if you guys noticed the adjustments were made in the fourth quarter. You know, that we started playing with one rotation, then you went ahead and went small and it worked. And I think that this is the type of adjustment that we need, real time, real game adjustment that we need to see from Tibbs. I thought Julius Randle obviously had a much better game. RJ had a much better game. Kemba was feeling it too. So I think, it was clicking on all cylinders. Obviously, like I said, that third quarter was a disaster. And against a team that is fully loaded, like, the 76ers are when they are fully loaded, you can't go ahead and fall that drastically short and expect in the fourth quarter to go ahead and ultimately win this game when it's all said and done. You got to be careful with that. You got to keep your foot on the gas at all times. But I think, your defense keeps you in the game when your offense isn't clicking. And this was a scenario where the Knicks did not stop chipping away at the score. They did not give up. They did not just stop fighting and giving that grit that we wanted to see from this team. And that's really all you can ask for. It definitely was a weird game, to say the least.
Yeah,
but like I said, a win is a win.
Definitely weird flow, man. CK, how you feeling, bro?
I actually said it best. A win is a win is a win is a win. I don't care if everybody was missing. I don't care if Doc Rivers was missing. I don't care who was missing. After what we had to sit through yesterday, I'm just glad we got a W. And against the 76ers, 2 games in a row this season. Like, I don't care what the scenario is. We was on a crazy losing streak against this team. I don't care who they have, who they didn't have. We beat them for the second time this season alone after going on the craziest drought of all time against the team. So happy to have this win. We need it. A lot of growing pains, but I feel like to have this team, regardless of who was there and who was not, still keep them under 100. Julius Randle said it best. That's definitely something that we want to see from this team. Perimeter defense was rough yesterday. I wasn't on that show, and I know you guys were saying it. We're talking about it, but I feel like for this team to shoot 43s, the Sixers to shoot 43s and only make 13 of them, that's a plus for us. So, I'm very happy to see us win. Need this one because it's a tough week because we know who's coming up next, and then we know who we ending off the week with. So it's good to start off with.
And it's a good point you made, CK. Is like, look, this game could have been a disaster regardless of the fact that the 76ers were missing Embiid, and I believe Harris wasn't playing either, because we did play yesterday. This could have been a disaster scenario, and it wasn't. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Good point on that, Ash. And I would say, CK, to your point, the Sixers not getting hot from 3. I thought the defensive intensity, I thought the effort was on point, especially in the first half. I thought the rotations were sharp. They were running guys off the 3-point line. You saw a night and day difference in their effort defensively to try to get these guys off the 3-point line. Mm-hmm. They ran my guy Steph Curry off the 3-point line. That was my prize picks
Me too, bro.
for tonight, fellas. But we'll get to that later. So definitely cost me some money, but in a good way. But I thought the effort and the overall aggressiveness on both ends was sharp tonight. They didn't necessarily downplay to the competition, especially in the first half. I thought Fournier in particular was very noticeable on both ends of the floor, very aggressive on both ends of the floor. Julius as well. So, give credit. The defense was on point, in particular in the first half. Bad news is our big man depth is once again impacted. No Mitch tonight with a hip flexor. Noel starts the game with a bad back. I wasn't too, I'm not a doctor, but I wasn't too high on that because I just felt like there was no way for him to heal that, and it didn't sound good coming in. He ends up leaving with a bad knee injury, it looked like. So, our big man depth is once again in question. They did go to ties. They went with Jericho Sims for like 5 seconds and ended up going small at some points as well. So that was one of the downsides.
I'm surprised you didn't mention your boy.
Who? Oh, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm just talking about some game storylines. But yes, along with Julius coming in clutch, 4 minutes, 45 seconds left. Knicks are up by 3. Julius comes in, drops 10 of his 31. Kemba came up with some clutch plays. There were a lot of clutch plays by my guy, Alec Burks. Burks Hive, if you're in the chat, stand up. Again, the points ain't there yet. We're still getting into our groove, but he had a lot of hustle plays on the defensive end. Got us some extra possessions. There was a nice sequence. Yeah, there was some nice sequence where RJ found him in the corner for a 3. Then RJ came back the next possession, splashed a 3 for himself. So that was a good hustle by Burks. I thought IQ had some clutch moments. In particular, in the end, he hit one from the top of the key, but he's also starting to find his groove from the elbow 3 as well. So great job by the second unit as well. So yeah, shout out to the Burks Hive for sure, Ash.
He helped out in, you talked about Noel. The Knicks still out rebounded the Sixers even without Noel leaving early in Mitch. And your guy Burks was one of the reasons why, coming down with 7 rebounds. You had 10 from RJ, you had 8 from Gibson, and you had 6 from Fournier.
Yeah.
So, that production there helped, the Knicks out rebound the Sixers 55-47. So even with Andre Drummond's monster game on the rebounds department, even with that, the Knicks were able as a team to win that category. And also, you mentioned the intensity on defense. In the first half, they allowed only 5 fast break points. In the second half, they allowed no fast break points. And the Knicks won that 23-5. So the intensity was definitely up there. And, again, it's a game of runs, and that's a professional team. Doc Rivers has that team playing hard, because even before, without Embiid, without Embiid tonight, but before tonight, when Embiid was playing without Simmons, they were still playing very good basketball. So, I still expected somewhat of a competitive game just because of that factor. The team is playing with a lot of intensity, but the Knicks made it a little too close for comfort.
I expected a competitive game after what we saw yesterday. That's the only reason why I was expecting it to be competitive, regardless of who was playing and who's not. I just want to see how we were going to respond to that game yesterday. And I think we did a solid job to see that 19-point lead go down the way it did. That was definitely, like you mentioned at the top, JD, that was probably the worrisome point. But the fact that we survived, still coming off of a back-to-back, we got to keep that in account. I know people are going to be upset that we didn't win the way you want to. You got to keep that in account. A lot of these guys played big minutes in that unfortunate loss in the Garden. We survived it. But like to that point, I was expecting it was going to be a brawl. I don't care who was playing, who wasn't. We got to get ourselves figured out, and I think we took a good step tonight.
What do you guys think about this? What's up with Obi playing 9 minutes?
I was just about to say,
plus 10, 3 assists,
about to say,
3 rebounds,
a lot of chatter. There's
2 or 3. Man. He's the last 2 games. He just went 4-4, went 2 or 3 tonight. He's finding a way to impact the game, and I'm gonna give him credit, man. Like, when you're playing 9 to 11 minutes, and it's hard to get into a rhythm for a guy of his skill set, because a guy of his skill set, you would think, would be a type of player that needs some minutes to get into a rhythm. And I think one of the areas of improvement that he's stepped up this year is finding a way to impact the game in the same amount of minutes he was getting last season. He didn't even play in the third. I understand, Randall carried us there in that second half, but when you talk about Mitch being out, when you talk about Noel going out early, when you talk about even Gibson, his age and all that stuff, I was surprised that Obi only got 9 minutes tonight.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. I mean, I don't know if it was in this situation, things were kind of rocking and rolling, and Tibbs didn't want to go ahead and rock the boat, but yeah, it's definitely weird that someone who's able to produce the way Obi's been producing, and it's different when the scouting report isn't on a player, right? You kind of want to utilize that to your advantage until that's no longer the case, and people kind of already know how to defend Julius Randle and kind of how to stop him. Obi is still a mystery to, I think, a lot of defenses, because again, he didn't really have the best season last year. So you can kind of utilize him in different ways and kind of throw a defense off their game. So it is interesting that, he's kind of being treated like a stepchild per se, and Julius Randle's the favorite in Tibbs's eyes. I would love to see Obi get more minutes. I mean, if you look, it was a drastic difference. I mean, it honestly doesn't make any sense. Like, 9 minutes is crazy when you look at like Burks with 21, you look at Randle with 35, RJ Barrett with 4. I mean, it definitely is concerning that he's only getting such a small percentage of the time on the court, especially with how he's playing.
Go ahead, TK, go ahead.
I was just going to say, and the biggest part was he fits the need that we had. We were missing bigs. Mitch was out. Nerlens ended up going out. He could have fit that role, especially against a team where they were also missing bigs. Like, you can use the argument that you might not have wanted him against Drummond and blah, 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 blah. That's fine, but they didn't really have anything outside of that, and they were playing small too. So this game was catered to having him on the floor. And to JD and Ash's point, to have him not play in that third, and have him have the least amount of minutes and one of the highest plus minuses in that time. It was a bit confusing in this game, especially when this game just seemed like it was just on a silver platform. I understand Julius had a good third quarter, but I still feel like there was situations where he could have still fit in, especially playing as well as he did.
Absolutely.
It was very confusing tonight.
And I get he's the backup to Randall, and I get Tibbs has a nepotism for vets, but it's like, come on, you see the production, you see the energy, you see the commitment. Like, give Randall some time off. You know what I mean? Or have him and Obi in the game at the same time. Like, utilize someone who's hot. Utilize someone the film isn't out on completely yet. It's a very weird, I get, Tibbs has a love affair with vets, but I mean, a game like this, you spoke to it, CK, right on the head, is, with Embiid out, you can go ahead and see what Obi can do in a situation like this. And it was a missed opportunity, definitely on Tibbs' part.
Yeah, I mean, look,
a back-to-back situation too.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's disappointing, but we knew what we signed up for, because this is what I expected. 10 to 12 minutes a night, regardless of what's going on. And it's unfortunate because we wanted to see we wanted to see how he would capitalize on those limited minutes. And I think by and large this season, he's done that. 3-point shots not falling as much, but he's way more aggressive. He's forcing the issue. He's attacking on both ends of the floor. He's really putting pressure on the defense. And he's been a spark. Every time he's out there, he's out running. Once we get the defensive rebound, Obi in transition, Obi on the leak outs. He's running. Burks missed him again in transition in this game. No surprise, but it could have had an easy 2 points there. So it's just disappointing because, like I said, he's really maximizing his time out there. So you want to see him get more of those minutes. Yesterday was another example where, he gave us a big spark in that fourth quarter against Cleveland, and we still couldn't see him in the close of the game. So it was a bit unfortunate. I know why Tibbs went Taj, against Drummond. Drummond was eating everybody alive on the boards, which you figured he would, and you figured Tibbs was going to lean on his vet. My guy Sean Shepard was cursing the anti-Gibson, talking about putting Jericho Sims, but I really didn't think Sims was going to fare too much better than Drummond. So I understand it, but at the same time, I still want to see Obi get some more minutes. Because
Obi last year was 0.2 on the blocks department. This year, he's creeping up to almost a full block per game. He had another one tonight, so that should increase his 0.8 closer to 0.9. So, and again, this is around the same amount of minutes. So, even his defense, his intensity has improved on that side. He still has some technical things, but, all things considered, even on the shot blocking department. So you can see that he's looking at any way possible to make a case to his coach that he deserves more minutes.
Yeah, that's a big fact, man. Give us a call. Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for your squad. Next post-game live presented by Manscaped. Give us a call, 657-383-1509. Let us know what you thought about the game, or you can hit us up on the KnicksFanTV Discord. I want to shout out some of the super chats that are coming. Shout out to Michael West. Jimmy Faustin sent a super chat. JD says, $20 super chat. He says, just want to say I love the prize picks. I have so far won $750. Flex is the best way to go. Even if you don't get all 5, you could still get good money back if you have at least 3 of the 5. Definitely recommend going with RJ Barrett. Well, we're gonna talk about not tonight. For me tonight, I'll tell you, Jimmy.
Send us a loan.
Yeah, it didn't work for me tonight, Jimmy. But we'll get to the prize pick segment in a little bit. Shout out to CL Kenrick. Sends a super chat. He says 3-0 with the 75th anniversary uniforms, 5-1 on the road, 2-0 against Philly, 31 from Julius Randle with 10 rebounds. Hashtag we here, hashtag we still here, hashtag we deep, and hashtag bing bong. Shout out to King Matthews with the super chat. He says W win. Let's keep it going and get ready for the next one. And Burks missed both free throws for Sixers fans to get their frosty, and they're still mad. Yeah, and you saw they threw something on the court after we put it away, man. You said the Sixers fans are just wired differently, man. They're just a different group. But yeah, they had
Philly
to stop.
fans.
No, Philly fans in general.
Yeah, Philly fans in
right.
general. Philly fans in general, man. They
What
just,
did they throw at him? Like a handball ball?
It looked
It was
like
little-
a handball or a cup or something, man.
No,
A
man, it was
a
little
brick.
basketballs they give like in between timeouts. You
Yeah.
said
It looked like a handball, and those kind of hurt. I was like, yo, someone
Right.
wants to smoke with Kemba? Like, what's really good, bro?
People are wilding, man. My guy Smokestack in the chat. Smokestack, what's going on? People are wilding out. Like, yo, it's a game. You taking it personal with people.
I think they use some of those funds to build a wall too.
They
for,
they built the
Ben
wall
Simmons
to
or
protect
something?
Ben Simmons, and he ain't showing up. Oh man, Philly just different, man. Shout out Anthony Rasulo says JD's grill still looking a little dusty from last night. Good thing Philly slid through with the DoorDash free burger from Five Guys since they have 5 out. We take those though. 7 down, 43 to go. All right, let's get to the phones, man. Let's check in with let's go to ATL. Josh from Atlanta. Josh, how you feeling?
How you guys doing? Nice to be watching UCP, CK run the intro, JD and Ashley.
Let's go.
Just wanted to quickly call in to show some love, man. It was great to watch our Knicks come back on a back-to-back away and pick up a win. Yeah, they were down a lot of people, but, you still got to secure those wins. It's really important wins. So definitely great to see. And it's funny, my next thing, just before I get out of here, somebody sent in a super chat on RJ Barrett, picking him on for the over-unders. Man, he was really off yesterday with the 6. So, I jumped out the window with my bookie and put 500 on the over a 16.5. And watching him miss them last 3 shots, it really hurt. But
yes,
it happened.
Yeah.
Knicks get the win. It is what it is. I'm watching my favorite Knicks fan TV show afterwards, man. Y'all keep it up and have a great one.
Only one Knicks fan TV, but let's get it. Let's go, man. Appreciate the call. Josh holding it down in ATL. Man, my man was throwing big stacks in there.
Oh man.
You know what I'm saying?
When we introduced this sponsor CP, I didn't know it was gonna go down like that.
Yeah. Shout out to Prize Picks, man. Shout out to Prize Picks. I'll go through my picks in a little bit, but definitely check it out. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports, made easy. They do a great job with the NBA and NFL prize props. So make sure you go to Prize Picks, enter promo code KFTV for a 100% match on your deposit of up to $100. Don't have to deposit $100, but they will match you 1-for-1 up to $100.
Also want to just fill everybody in on updates. Brooklyn lost, so that's great.
Excellent. Okay.
95-118 against the Bulls.
Let's go.
And I may be delayed by a couple of seconds, but Memphis and Minnesota are in a nail biter. John Morant, I am a member of the John Morant fan club.
Yeah.
Hopefully Memphis can pull out that win, and that's all I got for you guys.
Shout out to
Miami's getting spanked 64-49.
That too. Miami is
I was
getting
about to say,
spanked.
you gonna leave Miami out?
Yeah, Miami is getting spanked by the Denver Nuggets. So
interesting. Okay, all right. And speaking of Nuggets, you got Michael Porter Jr. is out with a back injury. I don't know if it's the same back, but after he just got the bag, again, don't wish injuries on people, but not surprising.
And even like with that Bulls win 118-95. So
Commanding.
now they're 7-3 and 4-2 at home. And when we talk about the Knicks, as it relates to the Knicks, that looks like a more quality win as the time goes by. So but then it also on the other end, this is why there's also you have to give this team time, because we're still trying to find out, even in tonight's game, right? Like, what was the overall takeaway that we learned tonight? There's still questions there. Yeah. So, as you see in the NBA early on with all this parity, you got to give, some time here for this team to gel and see exactly who they're going to be. And
that's why, and shout out to Cherie Dilla, just subscribed. Everybody hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, just crossed 44,000 subscribers. That's why, JD, when my guy J Cal from the Bay Area called in a couple days, last Friday when we beat the Bucks, and his question was, would you rather have this win or win 8 of your last 9? I went with the 8 of the last 9, because games like this, with the East so crunched up right now, so much parity, I want as much wins as I could get against those teams that I'm going to be competing with for a potential playoff spot, because I'm telling you, those tiebreakers are going to be even more crucial this year than they were last year.
Absolutely.
All right, let's get back to the. Go ahead.
I was just saying this is the new NBA too, with the injuries, the health protocols and stuff. So, you're going to continue to see, back-to-backs, players get load managed, and you're going to continue to see the health and safety protocols, players entering that. So it's a different NBA now. And so you're going to have to pile up as many wins as you can.
No question, man. I want to shout out Rare Edition. Rare Edition comes in with a $25 super chat. Says, I agree. Obi should have gotten more minutes. He's a hidden gem with tons of production value. Bench mob played well. Philly fans were salty and almost hit Kemba with a toy ball. SMH. Use that ball for Simmons practice. Yeah, man. People are wilding out, man. Almost took my guy Kemba out. All right, let's go to Cali CK. Brian from Santa Monica. Brian, what's going on? How you feeling?
Feeling fantastic, guys.
Let's go.
First, I just want to give you guys props for this show. I grew up in New York. Mm-hmm. I probably wouldn't even be watching the Knicks the way I do now if it wasn't for this show. You guys make the whole entire experience so much better.
Thanks a lot.
And I just, as an entrepreneur, I respect the things you've done. I'm going to make my part real quick. I'm kind of disappointed. Even though we got the win, I look at what Julius is doing out there, and I can't see how there's any growth from our loss to Atlanta. I feel like Tibbs, he's a classic guy that can just ruin a wet dream, because every time I see them making a run, I feel like he needs to impose what he thought his plan was for the day rather than just rolling with, what is there in front of us for us to get the win. So we got the win today, but we were supposed to win today. But I'd like to get you guys' opinion about how we are doing relative to our growth offensively and Julius' growth as a leader and a dominant player on this team. And I'll go with that. Appreciate you guys.
Thanks a lot for the comments, Brian, and definitely welcome to the show. Thanks for supporting us. I mean, for me, you're not going to know whether Julius has grown from that disappointing loss against the Hawks. So you see him in the playoffs again, and can he redeem himself? But for tonight, okay, he had some tough spots against Danny Green. You wanted to see him, punish him a little bit in the post, and that's a bit concerning in terms of not being able to take off on undersized guards. You saw the same issue with him and Lonzo. But listen, he went 12 of 25 from the field, 5 of 10 from 3, and he sealed the game for us.
Right. That was my point. I was going to add. How did he finish?
Yeah,
that's what I was going to say. I get that, and there was some bonehead moments for sure, but how did he finish? He definitely cleaned it up as the game went on. When he checked back in that fourth quarter, you saw him looking to push the issue by moving the ball a lot more rather than forcing up some of those shots that we've talked about on this show many a times. And he made key buckets to close out the game. So to me, it's about how he finishes the game. And that was a rough point in a few of the earlier games in the season, and I think he did a great job with that tonight. So, you can't point the finger on Julius not for tonight's game for sure.
I will say for me, and this may be the unpopular opinion, but for me, I actually feel like I can't make that assessment on Julius Randle's growth as much in the regular season as I will be able to in the postseason. I think that is really where you see the strength of a player in terms of being the leader of a franchise. I think obviously you can go ahead and see him in spurts throughout the regular season, but the post is really where you can see how much Julius Randle has grown as a player. How do you deal with that pressure? How do you deal with the eyes, and how do you deal with, the big prize at stake? And I think that if we can go ahead and see a drastically different Julius Randle than we did in the last postseason against the Hawks, I think that's going to say mountains worth, if that's a phrase. I don't know. I probably just made that up, regarding Julius Randle's development. I think that's going to be the true telltale sign of how much he has grown as a leader and as a player.
Yeah, I agree with you. Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I agree with you guys. In the end, I think he's going to show growth throughout the season, but that growth will ultimately have a final conclusion in the playoffs. And if he's able to translate that in the playoffs, then it will be stamped by everyone else, the fan base. And so that's what I'm looking to. Now, I will say on the positive end that his post game on the last game, he took a lot of accountability. He was saying things like accountability. He was saying that I need to do better. I need to show more energy. I need to be a leader. And he even admitted, he said sometimes, I lead by example. I don't say much, but I realize that I may need to be more vocal. And for him to say that, and then tonight have that performance, that's actually someone that's understanding how important he is to his team. So I hope he continues to do that. We're gonna face these ups and downs with his shot selection as the top option, because I think he's still learning himself as a player. He's still learning the chemistry, and he's still learning where to get the basketball. Like, even tonight with Green, you saw even times that he was scoring weren't the best of shots. And he wasn't getting it in the best spot on the court. I think when you have someone that's a 6'4" guard, you need to get the ball 2, 3, 4 feet away from the basket, not by the free throw line. I think that's a little too far when you have a player
it's
like
far,
that
man.
small against you.
It's definitely far. And we're gonna go to Bully on the Discord in a minute. So Bully, get ready and unmute your mic. But I just feel like with Julius, I just feel like there's still so much untapped potential in terms of his chemistry with the guards. And getting him some easier shots, man. Because if we're gonna have to settle for these isolation, tough mid-range, lower percentage mid-range shots, I think we're gonna see the same result as last year. I just feel like there's more chemistry that's out there between him and Kemba, him and Rose, in pick and roll, pick and pop situations. They showed it on the MSG post game, where in that close to one of the final possessions of the fourth, where Julius sets the screen for Kemba, and there's so much attention being paid to Julius that they're not even respecting Kemba's drives, and Kemba's able to drive, and I think he either finished for the and one. But either way, if play like that is there, he can do that, get to the basket, or create an open look on the three-point line, whether it's RJ, whether it's Fournier in the corners. I just feel like there's more there that we need to tap into by using Julius in other ways that can either get him shots in rhythm or get the offense moving for other guys and create some advantages. All right, so to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for your squad. If you guys are new in the chat, type in #new. We got, how many people we got in the chat, JD? I'm looking at 1,500. We got more than 1,500 right now?
We have 1685.
1685. First off, let's hit that thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button. And if you guys are new, leave us a #new. And we'll shout you guys out after we hear from Bully on the Discord. Bully, what's going on? Bully going once?
Yeah, I'm here. What's going on?
What's good, bro? How you feeling?
Doing well. First of all, thank you very much for this platform again, from calling in from Japan.
Japan. Hey, Ash, you got to salute him, man. We call in from Japan.
Oh, is it konnichiwa?
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, konnichiwa.
Let's go. Yeah.
So I want to talk about, this is like being a dead horse, but obviously Obi Toppin should be getting more minutes. He's very, very efficient coming off the bench, but that's neither here nor there. But, this is a good win. At the same time, this should have been a win that was won in the second quarter, because at one point we were up by, I think, like 19 or 18 points. Yeah, 19. And I think that, this is what separates the good teams from the great teams, right? The great teams, they know how to put a game away. This is a game that we could have easily blown them out by like 30, right? But for some reason, I just don't know what it is. I don't know, where to put my finger on it, but I don't know, how teams close out these games. Maybe we need another piece, or maybe, I just don't know. Maybe the guys lose enthusiasm. I don't know what's going on. Do you have any idea?
Yeah, well, first off, appreciate the call, man. Checking in from Japan. So good morning to you. Look, I just thought, basketball is a game of runs, as they always say, man. We got into a rut. You say great teams need to know how to put these teams away. I mean, look what happened against us with the Bucks. They had us on the ropes in the second quarter, 21 points down, and we still found a way to win. Not just win, but wash them in the second half. So I just think so much of this is a game of runs, but we got to give credit to them for being able to close. As Ash says, not how you start, it's how you finish. Yeah, you want them to, close these games out and go to the third string early in the game, but tonight just wasn't one of those nights. But I think offensively we were disconnected in the third, and defensively as well. Just didn't have that same spark that we had in the first half. I don't know, what do you guys think on the panel?
No, I mean, I agree with everything you're saying. I do think, we got to harness that killer instinct. You know what I mean? I think that that killer instinct is the difference maker between championship teams and teams that barely or just sometimes make the playoffs and do okay. I think that a killer instinct team would have blown those guys out, knowing that they were already depleted in more ways than one. The killer instinct team wouldn't have allowed this game to get that close. The killer instinct team wouldn't have drastically just fell back in the third quarter the way that we did, and then have to go ahead and fight back in the fourth to go ahead and make sure that we walked away with a win. So I think it's about harnessing that assassin mentality where it's like, look, I'm keeping my foot on this gas all 4 quarters. And if you want this win, you got to pry it from my hands. And I think that the Knicks need to kind of develop that grit in more ways than one. We see it in spurts. That is a mentality, though, that you have to play every single game with. It's not something you could just switch on and off with.
TK, JD, anything on that?
I thought you were saying, yeah, I can. I was gonna say, and to that point, and this is why I can't just throw away this win because of who the team is. Like, because a lot of the times, and we've seen it against the Magic and against this team. I don't want to throw the Cavs in there because I think the Cavs have been playing really well this year. These teams that are depleted play really, they play hard. You know what I mean? And sometimes playing harder wins you those type of games. And to Ashley's point, if you're not a team that's going to go out there and seal the deal and kill them the way that we should have today, being up by 19 points. That's going to be a part of the growth, which to what CP is saying, we're only 11 games into the season. And I feel like he said, there's a lot more that we're still have yet to see. Like the combination of Julius Randle with Fournier, with Kemba, like I want to see that grow into something more. There's just still so much time left in this season to overreact about things like tonight. And so the fact that we won this game, take the W and we move on and we see how this team progresses. So yeah, I think those are all great points, but I'm not tripping about it. Not yet.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. I want to shout out my guy J Cal, Jason Calacanis drops a $100 super chat in the chat. He says, we take the W, 48 burgers, JD. Keep that grill hot. We on the way. # we here. 2 new starters. Mitch coming back. Inconsistency is to be expected. So shout out to J Cal checking in from the Bay Area. $100 super chat. Oh, I want to shout out to Rhyme Animal Chuck D. Throw a # PE in the chat to salute the legend. He says, thanks for the collective play-by-play by the KFTV chat to the air. Appreciated. We will take the W. Compared to that Cavs punch in the mouth at the Garden, in my opinion, it'll take 20 games for the defense to gel. So the Rhyme Animal does not miss a show, Ash. He's 30,000 feet up in the air.
I know Chuck is always moving and shaking,
and he's still in the chat. Cool. He's still in the chat, man. So
yeah, Chuck lives a life. That's what he does. That's a fact. Chuck lives a life.
He's still in the Mosh chat, checking in and tapping in with the fans early. So shout out to Chuck. Always appreciate you, OG. Shout out to Above the Rim, sent a super chat. Says Randall's defensive positioning stinks 90% of the time. CK, I feel your pain on the Lonzo potential. Zip, zap, zoom, I'm out. That was a nice little Manscaped reference. Salute my guy Above the Rim. Salute my guy. Great segue. Go to manscaped.com and the promo code KFTV for 20% off plus free shipping. $5 super chat comes in from Boston Knicks. Says, bet y'all thought y'all was going to tweet us bing bong tonight, at Sixers. Yeah, it seems like every team has been, going at us with the bing bong thing. I knew it was going to turn around and hurt us, man. I've been off that wave since the first night. I'll be honest with you, to each his own. I'm not really a fan of it, but yeah, you got every team coming out and, trying to hit us with that on Twitter, try to get their social media points up. But overall, it's
crazy. I mean, I get why Bing Bong kind of blew up. It was short, it was sweet, but there were so many other one-liners that were so much funnier. Like Kevin Durant when it was like, "Katie, don't you regret not coming to the Knicks?" That was hilarious.
Yo, yeah. Shout out to him.
The one where he was like, "We had De Blasio." We had Cuomo. Like, that was funnier. Like, Bing Bong was just short and sweet, but it was not the funniest part of that whole video at all. Yeah.
That is a fact, man. Let's shout out some people in the chat real quick before we get back to the phones. I'm going to shout out Team #new Christian Polanco. Welcome to the show. Elvin Moran, how you feeling? The Fishers, you're always in here. Run a Dash, what's going on? How you feeling? Christian Polanco again. JD, who you want to shout out in the chat, man?
brother BKL Contreras.
Let's go.
Shout him out. He's a big supporter. I'm always shouting out the mods, Keith Sinclair, TM, and everyone that hashtag PE for the legend Chuck D. Yeah,
man. Josh Davidson.
Everyone from Harlem. Anyone from Harlem, shout out to you guys. That's the hometown.
Salute, man. CK, who you want to shout out, bro?
I'm looking at Rare Edition. Always appreciate you coming through. You've been agreeing with us, saying that we need to stop overreacting and enjoy this W. Shout out to him.
Yeah,
Nino Black. Shout out to the new crew. Respect Shaq. I see you, man. Shout out to Willie POV. Okay,
facts.
With a great take.
Yep.
Yes, sir. And yeah, shout out to all the news that I'm missing because y'all moving, but I feel like I'm missing a few of them. I think you said Steven St. Pierre. Yeah, shout out to all the new folks.
Yes, sir. Shout out a couple people, then we'll get back to the phones. I see Val from Jersey waiting. So
I'm gonna shout out all the newbies. Shout out Ralphie Martinez. Shout out Free Obadiah. Shout out Charmboy 72 Abel. All new in the chat. Shout out to Charles Barkley, not that Charles Barkley, but a Charles Barkley.
All right.
Shout out to all you guys, everyone rocking in the chat, all 1,600 of you guys.
Let's go.
See you. We appreciate you.
1,600 on the check and hit that thumbs up one for your squad. Val, you up next. Val, what's going on?
Hi, everybody. How you guys doing?
Good, man. What's going on, bro?
Make sure everybody liked the video also.
Yeah, man. Let's do it.
But I think we saw a glaring weakness on this team. I don't know if you remember with the Hawks playoff series and whenever we go against Towns and these guys, we're really bad at rebounding. And our best rebounder, Julius Randle, he never likes to stay close to the rim. He's always on the perimeter. And I'm always saying to myself, what can we do to fix our rebounding? Like, I like Mitchell Robinson as a rebounder, but he's never available. And I think going forward, if we're going to be an elite team, forget about the shooting and the point guard and all the stuff we were upset about in the past. I always felt like we were just a horrible rebounding team. I think we're number 18 in the NBA. I got the ESPN stats up. And it's just like, I got tomatoes thrown at me the other night when I said we should have gotten tomatoes. But anyway, I didn't want to say that. I didn't say that. But yeah, what are your thoughts on getting some rebounding down low? Someone that can grip the ball. Paul.
Yeah. Super pause. That was like a flagrant 3 on your part, Val. But I appreciate the call.
He said grip the ball, not multiples.
Hey,
he didn't put a plural at the end of it.
I said he was coming close. He was coming close to a flagrant ass. He was coming close. But that's my guy, Val. Similar situation to last year, man. We just don't get enough boards. As you say, Julius being a perimeter player, still gets his fair amount of boards, but it's not consistent on a nightly basis. Mitch, he'll get most of his on the offensive side, but availability is a factor. Noel as well. I think Noel in the Milwaukee game, I want to say he had about 13 boards, so that was a good night for him. But again, with his size, it's not going to be consistent. It's right now, it's just got to be as a team, right? We saw Burks come down with 7. RJ had 8 tonight?
10.
RJ had 10 rebounds? 10
Yep.
Rebounds for Broadway. So it's going to have to be by committee. When OB gets in, he's going to have to get on the boards. And that's how we're going to have to do it, man, because, our bigs just don't rebound on a consistent basis. And that's that. So salute to everybody in the chat once again. Salute to Albert Baez into Super Chat. He says, it feels like we are deprioritizing player development when it comes to Obi. Hashtag let Obi fly. Hashtag future all-star. Hashtag play him more or trade him. So Albert Baez laying down the law, Ash. He's tight.
That's a hot take.
Yeah, it's a tricky situation, man. It's a tricky situation, but
eventually that conversation's gonna have to be had. I don't think that this team is there.
She's going there.
Yo, she's going.
No, it's
going
listen.
there.
I agree. Listen, I agree with the sentiment that CP has been on. I didn't think that time to have that conversation was last season. I don't think it's this season, but I do think that it eventually is a conversation that is going to have to be had. It's just a matter of when, not a matter of if. And that's really what it comes down to. I don't think, luckily, we're there at this moment in time, but we will be at some point.
Yeah. And I had mentioned he's a lottery pick and he is on a rookie contract and it's business. NBA is a business. He has an agent. He has, his advisors. And at some point, they're going to go to him and they're going to say, what do you think? And Obi may feel that I'm a starter. I think I'm a starter. At the very least, I think I should be getting more than 10, 11 minutes. That's for sure. And then, you know, the Knicks are going to have to make a decision on how they want to manage that, because, you know, they can do it. But right now, Tibbs is thinking very strict to, you know, the way that he's managing these games. So, you know, he just needs to continue to find ways to impact the game the way he has and continue to make improvements. And we'll see how the season flows for him.
Facts.
And real quick update. Listen, it was a thriller, but Grizzlies came out on top 125-118 in overtime. Absolutely crazy game. Cat hit a crazy shot. Ja hit a crazy shot.
I saw
but
people.
Shout out to the Grizzlies. That's my team in the West. I love me some Ja Morant. That's my bandwagon team for the year in the West. I'm a huge Ja Morant fan. If I could have had Ja and RJ, I would have.
Now you're certainly playing well, man. Ja definitely playing well. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. Hit that thumbs up button for your squad. We're gonna go to the phones and then get to our prize picks. Shout out to Junior Caroma, sent a super chat. He says Burks Hive, let's go. Knicks fans in the chat and callers, relax. Defense is the Knicks' identity. I mean, they will eventually figure it out. Well, I hope so, man, because a lot of the statistics that are coming in after last night's game are pretty glaring in terms of the fact that, you know, they give up the most wide open threes in the league. You know, mid-range shots. I mean, I think they're last in opponents' points per game. So they got to tighten up. They definitely got to tighten up. All right, back to the phones we go. Let's hear. We're gonna close with Angel. I see Jay from Florida. Let's get to him. Let's get to the Debbie Downer, because I feel like a night. I feel like a night like tonight he's gonna be in his bag. So Jay from Florida, you up next. Check at the tomatoes.
You're right about that, brother.
Let's go.
You are absolutely right about that.
We missed you last night.
Subscribe button. Yeah, I try to give people a break, man. I don't want to overwhelm. Hit that like button, that subscribe button. If you like the show, support the show.
Word.
Hit that notification, all that. Ash, I'm proud of you. Ash, you've been going in with the takes. You've been sounding like the elite Ash. I love it. I love the takes. You're going crazy. Listen, this team is a joke. This team is a playing team. Let's keep 100. This team is a playing team. If we can't, the Sixers literally played a third string and was in the game most of the game. This is a joke, man. This is a joke. Your man Rose barely had any knees tonight. He struggled. You could see the back-to-back was on Rose's knees tonight.
Oh, Rose is going to come.
Tibbs got to learn to give it. Tibbs got to learn to give it in, man. Play the kids. Play Grimes. See what McBride got. Spell Rose a little bit, man. This is 10 games into the season. You trying to grind these players out. Like, look at Noel. Look at Mitch. Like, come on, Tibbs. You gotta utilize your roster more. This week we got a lot of big teams coming up. We got Milwaukee, we got Charlotte. That's no rollover, yo. Nah. Milwaukee's good. LaMelo and them play good at home. You know, this week is going to be tough. My theory has always been, if you're not going to use the picks, trade them. You pick Grimes and McBride this year, great, right? You're talking about you want to trade for a superstar player. Tibbs is barely playing Obi. Tibbs is playing Taj way more than Obi. There's no use in making all these picks coming up if Tibbs can't stand rookies. Why are we making the picks? Why are we doing it? It's a complete waste. If you want to trade for that star, trade the picks. Get rid of the equity and get somebody in that can help Tibbs right now. Because if we go forward with this old man coach born in 1963, old man Thibodeau, it's not going to work with young players. He doesn't like young players. He doesn't support young players, right? That's my thing, man. You know, that's my thing. He got to right. Obi can't play 9 minutes a game, man. He can't. Come on, man. Like,
Jay,
bro.
Jay,
let's
me.
Be serious. We number 7 in the East right now. We number 7. You got a lot of teams in front of us that look a lot better than us. You got a lot of closers in the East now. You got DeRozan. You got Beal back. You got, you know, and the playoffs is a different story. Do y'all see us really advancing in the playoffs playing like this? Do y'all see us getting to the second and third round right now as we stand playing like this? I don't see it.
I'm waiting for us to you know, as I said, I feel like our identity has not been yet established. I'm still waiting for us to get into a groove. But like playing like this, no, I don't see it. I don't see it. But it's early, man. It's still early. You know what I'm saying?
So what's the point? If we can't at least advance in the playoffs, what is the point, CP? That's what I'm trying to say. Like, they call me Debbie Downer. They say I'm terrible. I'm a bad fan. But if we can't, how are we gonna play Atlanta? How are we gonna play Milwaukee? How are we gonna play the Bulls with the Rose?
Atlanta's struggling too, bro. I appreciate the call, man. Atlanta's struggling too, fam. Have you seen Atlanta's defense? Atlanta's struggling too.
They're 4-6, 12th in the East right now.
with the savior Cam Reddish that everybody it was hailing up last year.
With their full team, by the way. Just so before someone says, "Oh, Trae Young's not playing," or Clint Capella's not playing, or DeAndre Hunter, their team is in there.
Yeah. Now,
isn't it November?
It's November.
Okay, just making sure.
We're in November.
I thought
we
there was
11
games left.
We are 11 games in. Now, I'll say this.
Just making sure.
I will say this, because there's been mixed reaction in the chat right now. So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for your squad. How you feel about Jay from Florida's call? Rate it from 1 to 5. 1 being trash, 5 being facts. Throw it in the chat. I'm seeing some tomatoes, but I'm also seeing a lot of people agreeing with him, though.
I see some eggs. I see some. I'm confused by the eggplant emoji.
Hold on. Hold on.
Not quite sure what that's entailing, but okay.
Yeah, I don't know what that one is about, but I will say though, from a rotation standpoint and from utilizing your bench, I do agree with him in that, this is a grind season. This is a marathon season. Now it's 82 games, not 72. We should be using OB more. If there's room to get Grimes in there, getting Grimes in there, can we spell Rose a little bit for a night to keep him going? Because I did feel like, yes, even last year, yes, the Hawks would have still beat us at full strength, but I did feel like that whole grind of a season, and in particular that late West Coast grind, the overtime, the double overtime game against the Lakers and so on, I did feel like that took a lot of energy out of us, and Julius as well. I don't feel like he had his legs going in that first round against the Hawks. So I think to that extent, I think Jay has a point. I think he has a point there.
Well, I mean, I think Jay's calls are always very tough to grade because he speaks some facts and then he goes way off. So it's like when you say grade it to 1 to 5, I don't know where to go because I don't want to touch the playoff statement. I don't want to touch that yet just because it's too early. It's too early in the season. I don't want to go there yet. But the argument for the young guys, or at least some of them, is I think it's valid. Tonight, back-to-back situation, back-to-back, and Obi plays 9 minutes. You say in your post game that you were encouraged by Grimes 12 minutes. Grimes has proven that he can come in and just hit a 3 without much rhythm. Yeah, and he doesn't play tonight. Right. So you're like, wait, where are we going here? And you would think that tonight, Rose is a little off, and you got up and down play from some perimeter players. Maybe you put in Grimes, and tonight was actually a good matchup from a matchup standpoint. You would think some of these players don't have. Like Obi's not going to feel pressure going against Niang, or Grimes not going to feel that much pressure going against, Korkmaz or something like that. Like this wasn't like a big time matchup for, this was, I think, a situation where you could have, taken a few risks and play some young guys and see what you got. But so I think and I think with the fan base, this is going to be an ongoing thing because, the New York Knicks fan base, we love our homegrown talent. We love our own draft picks. We tend to favor them over players that come from another situation. So it's gonna be an ongoing thing with Tibbs, man. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, we just have to win games.
True story, man. CK, what do you got on this, man?
Yeah, I'm right. JD hit the nail on the head because that's what happens with Jay. Like now that he's on Twitter too, because sometimes he be going crazy with those takes. Like I don't know, but then he drops the bombs like talking about what we were saying with Obi Toppin. Like I agree, and we got to utilize the bench. I've been on the Grimes side this entire time, telling you guys I feel like we should be sprinkling.
Me too.
I've
been there with you.
Yeah. So those points, I'm with you on. It's just at the same time for us to be jumping out the window talking about that we're a playing team and stuff. How do we know? Yeah. I don't know how you know. Something I don't know.
Just last week, he was loving what he was seeing from this team. I think
if we win on Wednesday, man, that grill might be too high. I might have to go with a different background because if we win on Wednesday after all this and we find a way to beat the Bucks again this time, if you want to look at a positive, this time at least you have that game at home. Now they haven't been playing the best at home, but this is the first game at home that they have since they had that loss. And the Knicks need to start to win at home. We need to start to protect home court. So I'm gonna be interested to see, who's gonna have the career night for the Bucks. Because it seems like everyone that comes to the Garden is amped up. There's already been 3 players earlier this season that have had career highs at the Garden. Jaylen Brown with 46, OG, and Ricky Rubio.
Oh, God.
We'll see who's going to be the 4th guy.
Ricky Rubio Curry.
It's going to be Grayson Allen again, the revenge game. 40 points. Smacking Spike upside his head, some craziness, man. So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for your squad. You just heard from Jay from Florida, man. Let me know your thoughts in the chat. It's conflicting. As JD said, it's very conflicting because, just last week, Jay was jumping out the window with this team. Now he comes back in and he's double bolting the doors and doubling down on it with his Debbie Downer thoughts. So it happens, man. Remember, the show is presented by Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com, enter promo code KFTV for 20% off plus free shipping. I also want to shout out our other sponsor, and that is Prize Picks. That's right, Prize Picks. I want to tell you guys about Prize Picks. Prize Picks has the best NBA daily fantasy props on the market. They offer more NBA props than any other daily fantasy prop operator. That you can get, superstar props to even bench player props for the guys that don't even play as many minutes. You can play football, basketball. You mix up your sports. Premier League soccer as well. So they have a lot of options when it comes to the prop game. And as usual, for our viewers, they're going to give you a 100% match on your deposit of up to $100 when you enter the promo code KFTV. And that is at prizepicks.com, or you can download the app. So how did we do tonight? Well, it was a rough one for CP tonight again, ladies and gentlemen. But I had the right intentions, JD. I had the right intentions. I'll tell you that right now. So I went threes wild, man. I went with the Curry brothers. I just felt like the Knicks coming into this game, one of the worst, if not the worst, three-point defending team in the league, going against one of the hotter three-point shooters in the league. I went with Seth Curry on the over 2.5 3 points made. He finished with 2.
It looked good early.
It looked good early. You know what I'm saying? It looked good
I thought
early.
He was going to go off.
Yeah, it did look good early. And then I went with his brother against the Hawks. Warriors, probably the hottest team in the league right now, at home against the Hawks, one of the worst defensive teams in the league. I went over with Steph on the 5 threes. That game has just kicked off. Not sure where they are right there. And then on the points, I hit on this one. This was an easy one. I went Julius with the over on 21 points. Obviously, an on-demand 6 team. I thought Julius was going to bounce back strong after a letdown game against the Cavaliers. And then I went RJ as my man who called in early. I forgot his name, but I went RJ with the over on 16.5 points. He would finish with, how much he finished with, 15?
15.
And RJ had so many chances in that fourth quarter. He had 2 good looks from downtown that just went in and out. I could have almost had that one, man. And if Steph knocks down his threes, I could have had 1.5 times my money. So all in all, I put in $20 for a chance to win 100. Didn't hit tonight, but I'm feeling myself for the next game, man. I will bounce back. And remember, you guys can play too, man. Daily fantasy made easy. Go to PrizePicks.com, enter promo code KFTV for a deposit of up to $100 for a match. 100% match of a deposit up to $100. JD, did you check your scores? How'd you do, man?
Yeah, man. Jay Kyle's not going to be happy about this one. He's into investments, and I got a little greedy tonight.
What happened? What happened, man?
I went with the power play.
You went with the 5-for-5 power play. Okay.
I just picked 3 on the power play, $40 to win. I think it was here 200.
200, yeah.
And I went Andre Drummond with the over 13.5 rebounds.
See,
I thought that was a good play.
A slam dunk, man. And
I told you on the DM too. You didn't want to go. I told you the DM played.
That was a slam dunk, man. Drummond over on the rebounds was a slam dunk, man. I would have been good money.
I went there. I went RJ over 16.5. I'm going to continue to play that play. I think it's just a great play. He had 5 points in the second half. He went 2 of 12.
He was trending well.
You know, he had 10 points in the first half, and I thought, yeah, this is going to be easy.
Yeah.
It didn't go that way. And then I went with Vucevic, 16.5 points against the Nets. He had 11. The history is centers play well against the Nets because that's their weakest position.
Yeah.
I play a lot of that on FanDuel, but it didn't work out tonight. Took the L, but I'll be back tomorrow.
That was your first L, right? First L playing Prize
Yep.
Picks? So, man, yeah, you've been doing well, man. Took your first L. CK, how'd you do, man?
Yeah, I went for the 5. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I got 3 out of 5, and the 2 that messed me up were the same that got you. I went for Curry for the 3s because I was so sure. I was so sure he was going to tear us up from above the arc, but he stopped at 2 when we needed 2.5 and above. And RJ, man, those 3s.
RJ, us, man. So you went for the power play as well instead of the flex.
I went for 5. I went for the 5-pick flex. I had James Harden for 3, and I did the over. He won that. Julius Randle over on points won that. And then I actually played some football. Justin Fields. They said he was only going to get 33 rushing yards, and I said, give me the over on that, and he did that. But yeah, Steph Curry and
they win.
RJ. I couldn't say because I didn't care about the outcome. I just wanted Justin Fields to help me out.
Ash, we gonna find a way to get you to play something.
Yeah. Not available in Florida, but yeah, we'll find a way, man. We'll find a way, Ash. All right, let's wrap it up. We got a couple more calls to go. So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for your squad. I want to go down to ATL. Let's go to Rich from ATL. Rich, how you feeling?
Oh man, I'm feeling good. We got to win. At least it was crazy, heart attack, but it was good. CP, CK, Ashley, JD, great show. I was going to talk about Obi. I think he needs more minutes. But Jay's call, James in.
Yeah.
Come on, y'all. Stop it. Because guess what? In the old days, we would just be starting the season because the preseason would have lasted like 10 games. So these guys are still working together. What I want to see Tibbs do is still continue to work on that rotation because to me, his rotations are terrible. Not giving Obi enough time. Every time Obi comes in, that energy does something. And that second unit plays amazing defense. As soon as we start making a run, he takes Obi out. He puts one of the veterans back in. You know, back in the day, if that second unit was balling, that second unit stayed in until they messed up. I'd like to see that. Let's stop with the Jekyll and Hyde fandom, please. If you're a Knicks fan, yeah, it wasn't great tonight, but you happy you got the win, and you just want to see people grow. Let me tell you something. Everybody keeps complaining about Randall. First of all, Randall had 3 drives to the basket, which was amazing to me because I only usually see him do 1 a night, and he got 2 offensive rebounds. That's what I want to see Julius do more of because what I'm seeing is when he has a mismatch, he's not taking advantage the way he should.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing I want to see. I want to see some growth from Julius in going to the basket, play the 2-man game. I like the fact that he hasn't been ball hogging as much this year, and I see that he's learning how to play with these 2 new players. Let me see some more 2-man game with these guys because I think we could dominate with that 2-man game with Kemba and Fournier. And then let RJ get some fucking.
Rich,
let him get some calls.
Man. Yeah.
Let him get some calls. And I'm gonna leave off with this. Can you tell me? Is the officiating as bad as it's ever been right now?
Yeah, it did.
Let me know. I'm gonna listen up. Okay.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. And Rich was turning up, man. You felt the passion in his voice. You know what I'm saying? I like that though. Shout out to Rich.
We need a censor button.
Yeah, it is. We do need a censor button. That's coming in the next round of upgrades. We get the censor button. But shout out to Rich. The passion was definitely there. I felt like that was a 5-star call, man. What do you guys think in the chat? 1 through 5, 1 being trash, 5 being facts. Yeah.
How about this, CP? Quickly starting to find a little groove here.
IQ is getting his groove back.
Starting to find a little groove. Early on, a lot of people were ready to jump out the window and throw him to the end of the bench.
Yep.
And it's funny because it's something about him. It's kind of like the J.R. Smiths, like those type of players that are polarizing players. But it's like when they hit threes, it does something to the team. It seems to energize the Knicks because he has these, he has that funny form, and then he's shooting all the way a few feet behind the 3-point arc. It seems that when he gets going, it actually has a contagious effect on the unit that he's playing with and on the team. So I'm hoping that he can continue to play that well, because the Knicks definitely going to need that performance on Wednesday.
10 points, 3 of 4 from downtown, 2 of them from the elbow. Hit 2 nice elbow threes last night in the Cleveland game to bring us back. Then he hit a big one in the fourth quarter from the top of the key. I thought that was clutch and trying to keep the Sixers at bay. So shout out to IQ. Seems like he's definitely getting his swag back, and that should only make this second unit even better. I love the minutes. I love when him and Obi are out there. You'd like to see it more often because they clearly have some chemistry carrying over from the offseason into Summer League and so on. So great job by IQ and Obi as well. My guy Burke shipped in 5.7 boards. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man. That's the story. Shout out to Rich as well. All right, let's go to Toronto. Manny from Toronto. Yeah, let's go to the 6, Ash. Manny, what's going on?
Hey, not much. Thank you guys for taking my call. I always appreciate it. It's my third time calling. One thing I want to talk about tonight, I want to really touch on the positives, because we as Knicks fan, we always kind of, always too harsh on this team. I think the win tonight was great. I know we blew the lead early, but we kept fighting till the end. So it's not easy to do that in a back-to-back night, right? Let's remember that. So a lot of these players were tired, and then they still put in a shift and fought all the way to the end. So I really like that. And the one positive that I saw tonight, and I want to make sure that you guys saw it, is when Alec Burks went to the line and the game was kind of iffy. He missed his free throws, and then you saw Julius' growth when he huddled up the entire Knicks team there on the spot. Start talking to them. I don't know if you guys remember that point. And from that point on, he actually even took on the load, and then we pushed on. So that's one great positive on Julius Randle. I know a lot of people are criticizing him on his bad shots, but, we have to give him his respect tonight, because at that point he stepped in and he took over, and we went on with the W. So on that note, that's all I wanted to point out on the positive for Julius Randle. I'm not going to criticize him tonight, regardless of his bad shots that sometimes he takes. So, thank you again for taking my call. Yeah, one last comment to Ashley. Please do not big up the Grizzlies. You're a Knicks fan for life. Let's leave the Grizzlies alone.
They're in the West. They're in the West. They're no bother to us at all.
That's the league pass team. Now, Manny, question for you, man, because you up there in T-Dot. We had the Raptors fans talking spicy to us after they beat us at MSG. How come you a Knicks fan and not a Raptors fan, man?
The Raptors
because
suck.
I grew up in New York.
Okay. All right. There you go.
So I grew up in New York, and it was all Knicks in the 90s with the Ewings and the Oakleys and the Anthony Mason. So that's how I got my New York Knicks.
Let's go, man.
Stripes. So
stay
that's
true.
why. Yeah. And then, Toronto, it's one thing about the Knicks. You can't shake them off.
Yeah.
Like all the Knicks fans, no matter what happens, you can't shake them off.
Never. We'll definitely appreciate you supporting. And, call back anytime, man. Good call, bro.
Thanks for taking my call.
Yes, sir. That was Manny
real quick,
from the 6. Hold up. All right, go ahead.
1,500 people watching, but only 774 likes. And I don't like those odds.
Let's go.
I don't like that probability ratio, whatever the hell it's called. I'm not liking those numbers, guys. So hit the thumbs up. We won. Everyone should be happy, in a good mood.
If we get to 1,000 likes, we'll do our giveaway on Wednesday, man. Win or lose. We had a 44K giveaway ready, man. If we get to 1,000 likes right now, hit that like button, hit that thumbs up button. We get to 1,000 likes, and we'll give that away Wednesday night. Win or lose, Knicks versus Bucks at MSG. Let's go. We just heard from Manny in T-Dot. Throw your cities in the chat too, man. Throw your cities and your countries in the chat. Throw your flags in the chat, and we will shout you guys out. So we're going to T-Dot, but it's only right that we close in Philly.
Y'all don't make fun of my math skills, okay? I didn't know what they were called. Okay, you all get the picture.
Well, it's only right. We got to close in Philly. We got to close with Angel. It's only right, man. The closer for the night. Knicks get a dub in Philly. Angel, how you feeling, man?
Yo, what's good, everybody? CP, I ain't gonna lie, I'm digging that room, bro, with the blue light. It's just, it's a good night. when that light is on, bro. So I can't lie. It's definitely dope.
Thanks, man.
My guy CK2K was good, bro. JD, I need that cheesesteak, bro. What's up, man? How you feeling, bro?
I'm feeling good, man. Shout out to your pops, man. Let them know the Eagles lost and the Sixers lost. So shout out to your pops. Happy belated to him.
It's a great couple days in Philly for sure.
Yeah, it's been a great weekend, and the Cowboys lost, you know, so it was definitely better by that also. But and to the Queen, you know, I don't like the Cowboys, but you're still the Queen, you know what I'm saying? And how you feeling, Queen? How you feeling?
That was hurtful, Angel. I'm not gonna lie. That was a stray that I wasn't expecting.
I like it, Angel. Stay true.
But
Stay true.
Y'all making the playoffs though, so it's all good. So
that's
so
true. We are. I appreciate that. But yeah.
But first thing first, man. Y'all need to stop playing. Hit that thumbs up for y'all boys, man. Stop playing. Hit that thumbs up, man.
Yeah.
And listen, I'm riding around South Philly right now. It is very quiet, and I'm loving it right now. And you know what? I am sick and tired of Jay from Florida and his takes, man. I mean, you know what Jay from Florida reminds me of? He reminds me of Aaron Rodgers. He needs to get immunized because let me tell you something. I don't understand this guy, right? Last week, you know, it's we're gonna make the playoffs, we're gonna do real good, and we're gonna get to the second round.
Yeah,
and now it's now it's almost like you don't even want us to win the game, bro. At the end of the day, if it was up to Jay from Florida, we would still be looking at the G League, trying to get a top 10 pick. So I can't even take you serious right now, bro, because I don't understand your mindset. Do you want us to win or do you want us to lose? Now, I don't know about y'all, but we've been losing for almost 20 years, man, and I'm sick and tired of losing. And you know what? It feels so good to have a team that just plays hard, bro. And listen, we're not in the championship status right now, but we're getting there. And all we got to do is just like Coach said, we need to take it one day at a time, build the right way, you know what I'm saying, keep drafting well, and we'll just see how it goes, man. But at the end of the day, to all y'all Sixer fans, man, y'all make me sick to my stomach, man, because let me tell you something. What was the excuse last week when we beat y'all by double digits? You know what I'm saying? I'm sick and tired of all these complaints about, we didn't have these players. How many times during those 19 games that y'all won that we didn't have our best players and y'all still won? Y'all still took the W, right? So guess what? Y'all going to hold that L tonight, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm sick and tired of these Sixer fans never wanted to give us credit. We all know it's all Knicks 24/7, man. And let me tell you something. This right here, it wasn't pretty. But that's the gritty Knicks, man. It's never pretty, but what matters is that you get that W. And at the end of the day, let's just be honest. We were 11-15 after 26 games last year. We already are 7-4. So I'm pretty sure, I'm confident to say this, after 26 games this year, we're going to have more than 12, 13 wins, and that's just how I feel. You feel me?
Let's go.
But at the end of the day, man, it's just a building process, man. You got to witness what you're watching right now. Do you see that boy R.J. Barrett, the 9 guy? Do you see him hitting them clutch jump shots? And then you got Kemba coming down getting the and one. And shout out to that boy Julius Randle, man. It wasn't pretty, but like I said, you closed the deal. And that's what we did today. And the one thing I liked was the effort, the hustle. And, we gave up some shots. Teams are going to make plays. But at the end of the day, we kept them dudes in front of us, and we made it difficult. Whether you got your starters or not, you got to go out there and play. And you know what? We handed you that L. I'm sick and tired of Philly always running their mouth. Well, guess what? Y'all going to be quiet for a while because I told y'all from the beginning of the season, the New York Knicks are coming. New York, we here. I am sick and tired of all these people talking trash, not giving us credit, because at the end of the day, y'all think that we was loud last year. Wait until we become more consistent and better. And let me tell you something. We're not great, on a three-point defense, but it's early. We got time to fix these holes. And my God, Coach Tips, can you please give Obi some time? And I'm going to ask you guys a question because I'm rolling around South Philly right now, and it's kind of quiet. It's like a little desert down here. But my question to you was this. First, I just feel like the way Obi Toppin has progressed this year, I just feel like the way Mitch keep getting hurt and Noel, with his injury, hopefully it's not serious, I think it's time to really start looking into starting Obi, because you can't have Todd Gibson playing 31 minutes, man. Give Obi some time. Like you ain't never gonna see him develop if you don't put him on the court.
All right.
today was a perfect chance, but you know, like I said, y'all guys have a good night.
Yeah.
Philly sucks. Y'all have a good night, man. Take it easy. Peace.
CP, you all right, man? You got a bag next to you. Sound like you was about to throw up. What happened?
I mean, he was going in. Angel let off. He was taking shots at that. Even Ash caught some strays tonight.
I know.
Like, Angel was going off, and then the close was just, oh man, Angel. Start Obi. We know that's not happening, fam. He was going in. I just felt like let down a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
That's what it sounded like.
Yeah,
it's like a really good movie with a sucky ending.
It's like the ending of Sopranos, PG. Man. It was like the ending of Sopranos, man. Angel, man. He was going in. But nah, it's not gonna happen, man. You can't start Obi. But yeah, definitely get him some minutes, get him some extended time for sure. Definitely agree with that.
We'll see. Mm-hmm. That's not guaranteed either.
No, not at all. Not at all. I feel like we might have another battle of the fans brewing, man. We might have another battle of the fans brewing between Angel and Jake from Florida. That might be the next card.
Yeah. Listen, all I know is we're only at 915 likes.
They don't want the giveaway.
You said 1,000.
Yeah, they don't want the giveaway, Ash.
Clearly, y'all don't want the giveaway because we clearly said 1,000 and we're at 915.
We need 1,000, man. Hit that like button, hit that thumbs up button. There's a lot of people in here that haven't done that yet. Go ahead and do that, man, and show some love to the show. A great show, everybody, man. Great show. Nice bounce back win. Shout out to Angel. Angel, you still my guy, man. But damn, like the close is just so
Angel in the chat trying to cop please with me now that he threw a stray my way.
He did.
Listen, Angel's in the doghouse with me until further notice. Don't talk to me, Angel. Leave me alone.
Oh man.
Angel, start writing for your next call. You're gonna have to start writing.
You're gonna have to start writing, Angel. You're gonna have to start writing, man.
Wait, let me get some predictions for Wednesday, man. Let me get if you don't want to say that if we're gonna win or not, then give me somebody that's gonna play well. Because I'm already thinking about Wednesday. I'm hyped.
Bucks coming in town for revenge. Is Middleton still gonna be in COVID protocol?
I don't know.
I don't know. I think he might be back.
Yeah, they said Middleton might be back by Wednesday, or should be back by Wednesday.
I ain't afraid of him anyway, man. I'll take the dub. And I think it's gonna be second unit again, man. I think it's IQ, Rose, and the Burks Hive stepping up. 30 combined points, maybe even more, maybe 40. It's gonna be in the strength of the second unit. That 3-point defense is gonna have to show up because I'm telling you, the Bucks are gonna let it fly. And the Freak is gonna be out for revenge. For sure.
Yeah, that's the problem right there. We're gonna be. I have to watch the Greek Freak for sure. Yeah, I'm gonna give me my Knicks, man. I feel good about it. They understand the assignment. We cannot keep losing these home games. I expect them to go in there and take this one as serious as they took the one on Friday. Friday. Sorry. Give me the win. Give me the Knicks on that one, and I'm also gonna give all my energy on Mr. Big Money, RJ Barry, because everybody was betting on him tonight and he didn't help us out tonight. He ain't gonna give us another one. Back-to-back whole home games. Yeah, I'm expecting a big game from RJ and a dub for the Knicks.
And listen, King Deej, don't talk to me either. I didn't forget. Okay, listen. He who does not feel me is not real to me. Therefore, he doesn't exist. All right, get out my face.
Ash dropping bars on the chat tonight.
Don't talk to me.
King Deej, what's happening? She's still salty off that.
Ash is never gonna forget that.
Yeah, King Deej, man, she's still salty off of that. Deej, oof.
I got the Knicks. And one of the underlying reasons they actually play tomorrow, the Bucks do on national television. They're at Philly on TNT, and Middleton is out tomorrow. Don't know what's his status for Wednesday. So, we're catching a team on the second of a back-to-back. Now their travel is only going to be a few hours as they're going to go from Philly to New York. But, the Knicks have something to play for on Wednesday. This whole Garden thing, they got to get that straight. I'm looking for RJ to have a good game, and I'm looking for Randall to build on the performance tonight. So, see what happens.
Absolutely, man. Let me salute some of the super chats real quick. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. Shout out to the mods. I see some more super chats coming in. Shout out Kenny Gale says Angel on timeout for the week for the start Obi take. Shout out to Jamaica Queen 22 says Ash put Angel on the couch. Salute.
Angel's in the doghouse.
Angel's in the doghouse, man. He about to go OD with the sipping next week. Watch Wednesday. Shout out to O-Dog. O-Dog says your boy Angel started like Jay. Great first half and then fizzled out in the second half. Yeah, it's kind of similar. Shout out to O-Dog again. Says, Ashley, get your simp under control. Man's lost me with the start Obi. So
I can't help him. He's in the doghouse. I don't know where he is.
Shout out to David Code Fonseca. Sent a $5 super chat. Says, it's amazing how much Taj can change the game. Can we please just start paying him more to coach the young bigs and nuances of defense? Play a coach. Blood of the Panda. Oh, I already know he's tight. He says, I told y'all, give me my flowers, hashtag Obi Avengers, hashtag free Obi. All right, who else we got in here? Rich Harris, super chat, says, Knicks are a lunch pail team and an athletic team. Lunch pails are led by Jules, athletes led by Obi. Tibbs will favor lunch pails every time. Darren Wilkinson says, Jay, eat a whole box of plain Debbie Downer donuts, number 1. Hoodies Vintage sends a super chat, says finally running pick and roll. Randall consistently. Obi 9 minutes minimal. Taj 31 criminal. Hope Kemba gives us more scoring to minimize Randall's ISOs. So some good playmaking by RJ too, just on a side note. 4 dimes for RJ. Thought he had a lot more touches, especially early in the game. And I like that. That's encouraging. I want to see some more of that. Give RJ a chance to playmake as well to help Kemba alleviate some of that pressure. True Story Jay says Jay from Florida needs a drink. Gregory Castillo backs that super chat. I said, Jay from Florida don't want a burger. And Willie POV super chat says, if Mitch and Noel injuries linger, one under the radar move for rim protection would be for Allen from Cleveland. We have no shot at him. He says, might not give us much, but it's great rim protector. Yeah, I mean, they just signed him 5-year, $100 million deal. Cleveland's factoring in him into their future, so we have no shot at Jared Allen, but I appreciate the super chat. O-Dog says, why is our pick and roll offense so bad, and why is our pick and roll defense so bad? Anybody got the answer? Can we do better with the pick and roll?
Y'all kill me with the anybody got the answer. Can anybody hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's he's got a good point, man. Something that we want to see improve as the season drags on for sure. And Junior Caroma got that. Let's see who else. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. J Cal, appreciate the super chat. Rhyme Animal Chuck D, appreciate it. Frank, appreciate it. Sandy Valorio says one positive gain from yesterday's loss was IQ got its groove back. I think I got that already. Willie POV sends a $20 super chat again. Says shout out CPCK, JD, Ash, and of course Dave for bringing this chaotic yet oh so loving community together. P.S. Wifey mad I sent y'all her nail money, but I pay the cable bill. Let's go Knicks. So my man Willie POV sacrificed the Manny and Petty for some super chats. We appreciate you, brother. We appreciate you, man. That takes a lot of sacrifice.
We also got the over 1,000 likes in the chat.
Let's
so
go.
Congrats.
Yeah, let's go. So
giveaway.
Yeah, Wednesday we will do the giveaway, man. We will do the giveaway. So as usual, definitely want to shout out everybody for tuning in once again. Remember, these shows are available in audio podcast format, all the major platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Alexa, Stitcher, all those good things. The links for tonight's show will be available on KnicksFanTV.com. Remember, also check out KnicksFanTV.com tomorrow midday for KnicksFanTV Remy's player ratings. Player ratings are back exclusively on KnicksFanTV.com, so definitely a great read for your commute or while you're at work, whatever the case may be. Remember, the show is available, is presented by Manscaped as well. Go to manscaped.com, enter promo code KFTV for 20% off plus free shipping. And also want to shout out once again Prize Picks. Go to prizepicks.com, enter promo code KFTV for a 100% instant deposit match up to $100. So we out of here. CP the franchise, Ashley Moore, CKJD.